In a world that often celebrates the loud and the bold, the Sigma male quietly carves out his own space, unnoticed yet impactful. He's the guy who seems to exist on the fringes, effortlessly drifting through social circles without feeling the need to conform or compete. But what many don't see is that his understated demeanor hides a depth that can be incredibly attractive. While he may not actively seek attention or validation, there are subtle signs that reveal just how magnetic he truly is. These signals reflect a powerful allure rooted in authenticity, confidence, and an enigmatic presence that draws others in, often without him even realizing it. In exploring these signs, we'll uncover the hidden charms of the Sigma male and why he captivates those around him in ways that often go unacknowledged. Stay with me until we reach the final point, and be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments. Number 1. His body language commands without words. The Sigma male's body language speaks volumes without him ever uttering a word. Unlike those who need to physically assert themselves, puffing out their chest, standing tall, or taking up unnecessary space, he exudes a quiet, effortless confidence that naturally commands attention. His movements are calm and deliberate, lacking any hint of insecurity or the need to prove something to anyone around him. When he enters a room, it's not with fanfare or loud gestures, but people instinctively take notice. There's an undeniable presence about him, something in the way he carries himself that demands respect without asking for it. His posture is relaxed, his gestures are minimal, yet his energy fills the space. It's not aggressive or intimidating, but it's clear that he's someone comfortable in his own skin, someone who knows his worth without needing to flaunt it. Others are drawn to this calm, unforced dominance because it feels natural, not contrived. His confidence isn't put on for show, it's just who he is. This creates an atmosphere where people feel compelled to watch him, to listen when he speaks, and to wonder what drives his quiet strength. Without saying a word, he commands attention and respect, making his presence felt in subtle but powerful ways. This understated yet magnetic body language is what sets him apart, making others gravitate toward him without ever realizing why they're so intrigued. The Sigma male's allure is rooted in his ability to move through life on his own terms, often without realizing just how attractive that makes him. He doesn't seek validation, and yet people are drawn to him because he doesn't need it. His quiet confidence, selective nature, and tendency to operate outside of social norms create a powerful intrigue. He doesn't try to impress, but his authenticity, focus, and self-reliance speak for themselves. What sets him apart is that he isn't actively competing for attention, which paradoxically makes him stand out even more. His value isn't something he flaunts, but those around him recognize it through his actions, his calm demeanor, and his thoughtful presence. Number 2. The less he pursues, the more he attracts. The Sigma male has a unique ability to attract people simply by embracing solitude. While many chase after connections and validation, he is perfectly comfortable being on his own. This contentment creates an intriguing dynamic. When others notice he isn't desperately seeking their approval or attention, it sparks their interest. The more he steps back, the more they find themselves drawn to him. People are naturally curious about those who seem indifferent to the usual social games. The Sigma male's independence signals that he has something valuable that others want but can't easily obtain. This makes him stand out in a world where so many are vying for connection. His relaxed approach, combined with a strong sense of self, makes him seem confident and desirable. As others see him going about his life without the need for validation, they begin to wonder what makes him so self-assured. They start to question their own assumptions and, in the process, feel compelled to engage with him. It's as if his lack of pursuit creates an invisible barrier that people want to break through, and that desire often leads them to him. This counterintuitive pull, where the less he seems to want connection, the more it comes to him, can be mesmerizing. People start to seek him out not just for his company, but to understand the confidence that allows him to stand apart. In his quiet way, he creates a space where authenticity thrives, making those around him eager to connect. Number 3. The social echo effect. The Sigma male has a unique way of making his mark on the people around him, even if it's not immediately obvious. Initially, he might blend into the background during conversations, quietly observing instead of dominating the discussion. However, when he does speak, his words carry an unexpected depth that resonates long after he's gone. It's as if he plants seeds in the minds of those listening, and while they may not recognize it at first, those seeds begin to grow over time. Days or even weeks later, someone might find themselves reflecting on a comment he made, suddenly realizing how insightful it was. This delayed reaction creates what can be described as a social echo. The more they think about his contributions, the more they appreciate the nuances and layers in what he shared. His insights often challenge conventional thinking, leading others to reconsider their viewpoints or approach to situations. This slow burn influence is powerful. People might not notice it in the moment, but they often feel a subtle shift in their thinking or behavior afterward. He doesn't push his ideas onto others. Instead, he presents them so naturally that they seem almost effortless. This approach makes his impact feel organic, as if they've come to these realizations on their own. As a result, the Sigma male's influence lingers in the background, quietly reshaping thoughts and perspectives, which keeps him relevant in conversations long after he has left the room. His ability to inspire reflection without overtly trying is what makes him both fascinating and memorable. Number 4, attractiveness by subtle contradiction. The Sigma male is a walking contradiction, and it's precisely this mix that makes him so captivating. He can be intensely focused on his goals while simultaneously maintaining a laid-back demeanor that suggests he's not overly concerned with the outcome. This balance creates a magnetic energy. People are drawn to his ability to remain calm under pressure, yet they can see the fire in his eyes when he's passionate about something. It's this juxtaposition that leaves others intrigued and wanting to know more. He possesses a sharp intellect but doesn't feel the need to flaunt it. While many seek validation through debates or displays of knowledge, the Sigma male quietly observes and listens, often absorbing more than he reveals. This deep understanding of human nature allows him to connect with others on a level that goes beyond surface interactions. People often find themselves opening up to him, drawn in by his genuine interest and insightful comments, even though he rarely pushes for the spotlight. Being a loner doesn't mean he's disconnected. Rather, he often watches the world with a keen eye, analyzing the dynamics around him. This ability to remain on the sidelines while still engaging with life creates an intriguing tension. It makes others curious about how he perceives them and the world, prompting them to seek out his thoughts and opinions. In a society that often values straightforwardness, the Sigma male's complex layers and subtle contradictions create an allure that's hard to resist, keeping others captivated and eager to unravel his mysteries. Number 5. He's rarely the center of attention, but always on the mind. The Sigma male has a unique way of leaving a lasting impression without ever demanding the spotlight. While he might not be the loudest person in the room, his presence lingers in the minds of those around him long after he's gone. This understated approach creates an intriguing aura that draws people in, making them curious about his thoughts and perspectives. Unlike those who seek attention through extravagant gestures or bold statements, the Sigma operates on a different wavelength. His quiet confidence and keen observations make others take notice, even if they don't fully understand why. After an encounter with him, people find themselves reflecting on what he said or the way he interacted with others. His words carry weight even if they were delivered softly, and his insights often provoke deeper conversations among friends or colleagues. This lingering effect is a powerful testament to his character. He doesn't need to dominate the conversation to be remembered. Instead, he plants seeds of thought that bloom later, making him feel like a constant presence in people's minds. This is what sets the Sigma male apart. He transcends the typical dynamics of social interaction. While others may fade from memory after the noise subsides, he remains a subtle but influential figure, prompting those around him to reconsider their views and assumptions. His quiet nature becomes an invitation for deeper reflection, keeping him relevant long after he's left the room, making others crave more of his unique perspective. Number 6. The quiet competence that silences rooms. The Sigma male embodies a kind of quiet competence that sets him apart in any setting. He doesn't feel the need to boast about his skills or accomplishments, choosing instead to let his actions speak for themselves. This humility creates a subtle yet powerful presence. When he steps into a room, he might not be the loudest voice, but there's something about him that draws attention. His confidence doesn't need affirmation. It's woven into the way he carries himself and interacts with others. When he does something remarkable, whether it's solving a complex problem, delivering a captivating presentation, or demonstrating a unique talent, it catches everyone off guard. People who may have underestimated him suddenly sit up and take notice. His achievements have an almost magnetic quality that pulls others in, leaving them in awe of what he's capable of. This can create a stark contrast with those who seek attention through loud declarations and flashy displays. His ability to command respect without saying much often leads others to question their initial perceptions. How did they overlook him? Why didn't they recognize his potential sooner? This creates an atmosphere of intrigue around him, making others curious to learn more about his journey. The Sigma male's quiet competence not only leaves a lasting impression, it also sparks a desire in others to reflect on their own assumptions and, in turn, brings a deeper appreciation for those who operate in the shadows yet shine the brightest. Number 7. He doesn't compete, he transcends. The Sigma male stands out in social settings not by trying to take charge or dominate, but by simply existing outside the typical power struggles that often define interactions. While alpha males may seek the spotlight, loudly asserting themselves to gain recognition and respect, the Sigma takes a different approach. He doesn't feel the need to compete because he understands that true value doesn't come from noise or aggression. It comes from a quiet confidence and a deep sense of self. This indifference to the typical hierarchies creates an almost magnetic effect on others. People are drawn to him not out of obligation, but out of genuine interest and respect. His calm demeanor suggests that he is secure in his own skin, and that perception makes him seem untouchable in the best possible way. Those around him sense that he isn't playing the same game. They're curious about what makes him tick. Instead of seeking approval or validation, he sets his own standards and lives by them, making his way through life with a sense of purpose that others find compelling. This lack of competition doesn't just make him attractive, it elevates him in the eyes of those around him. When he interacts with others, it's not about showing off or trying to prove a point. It's about authentic connection. And in a world filled with posturing and bravado, that authenticity is refreshing, leaving a lasting impression that others can't help but admire. Number 8. His selective nature heightens his value. The Sigma male's selective nature is one of his most powerful qualities. He doesn't give his time, attention, or approval to just anyone, and this deliberate approach naturally elevates his value. Unlike others who seek validation from the world around them, the Sigma male carefully chooses where to invest his energy. This selectivity applies to all areas of his life, friendships, relationships, and even his interests. Because he's not easily swayed by social pressures or superficial connections, people quickly realize that earning his attention means something deeper. His scarcity mindset, where he consciously limits his involvement, makes his validation feel like a rare currency. People are hardwired to crave what is hard to attain, and the Sigma male's detached approach only heightens this desire. When he does choose to engage with someone or give his approval, it feels significant because they know it isn't given out lightly. It's not about playing games or withholding for the sake of control. It's about preserving his energy for what truly matters to him. This selectiveness creates a powerful dynamic where others find themselves wanting his approval even more. His attention becomes something to be earned, not expected, and that makes it far more meaningful. In a world where people often give too much of themselves too easily, the Sigma male's ability to be discerning enhances his mystique. This rarity makes people naturally drawn to him, valuing his presence and validation far more than they would with someone who freely offers it. Number 9. He moves through life like a shark in still waters. The Sigma male glides through life with an effortless grace that often goes unnoticed, much like a shark moving through still waters. He doesn't seek the spotlight or demand attention, yet there's an intensity to his presence that quietly draws people in. While others are busy vying for recognition, he operates on a different level. Beneath his calm exterior, he's constantly processing information, analyzing social dynamics, and taking stock of the environment around him. This keen awareness allows him to anticipate needs and reactions, positioning himself perfectly for when it truly matters. He has a unique ability to stay one step ahead, quietly assessing situations and people without the urgency that often drives others. When he finally chooses to engage or express his thoughts, it's with a level of precision and purpose that leaves a lasting impression. His actions, which may seem random or spontaneous to the untrained eye, are often calculated and intentional, revealing a depth of understanding that others may overlook. This combination of stealth and insight creates a captivating aura around him. Observers find themselves drawn to his quiet confidence and the mysterious allure of his thoughtful moves. The Sigma male is not just passive, he's a strategist, and when he makes his move, it's impactful. In a world filled with noise and chaos, his ability to navigate life with such quiet intention makes him not only intriguing, but also profoundly influential in ways that others may not fully grasp. Number 10. Deeply private equals sign. Intensely intriguing, the Sigma male is often an enigma, captivating those around him simply by the way he keeps his personal life guarded. He doesn't feel the need to share every detail or broadcast his emotions, which creates an air of mystery that intrigues others. This privacy isn't about being secretive or aloof. It's more of a natural instinct to keep certain aspects of his life to himself. As a result, people are drawn to him, wanting to know more about what lies beneath the surface. This unintentional secrecy makes him intensely interesting. When he speaks, his words are carefully chosen, leaving others eager to dig deeper and discover the layers he hasn't revealed. Conversations with him can feel like a puzzle, with each exchange providing just a glimpse into his thoughts and experiences. Others may find themselves contemplating his words long after the conversation ends, trying to piece together the story behind his quiet demeanor. The allure of the Sigma male lies in this blend of depth and discretion. People want to unravel the complexities that he hides, and this curiosity can create strong connections, as they often feel honored when he chooses to share something personal. His privacy invites trust and intimacy, allowing others to feel they are part of something special when he opens up. Ultimately, this combination of intrigue and depth leaves a lasting impression, making him someone who lingers in the minds of those who cross his path, inspiring them to explore their own layers as well. Number 11. He doesn't feel the need to sell his value, and that's his greatest sales pitch. The Sigma male has a refreshing approach to self-worth that sets him apart in a world full of self-promotion and social validation. While many people feel the pressure to showcase their achievements and constantly seek approval from others, he operates under a different mindset. He understands that his value is inherent and doesn't need to prove himself through loud declarations or flashy displays. This self-assuredness is not about arrogance, it's a quiet confidence that emanates from within. This lack of neediness becomes his greatest strength. Others are drawn to him not because he's trying to impress them, but because he carries an air of authenticity. When he interacts with people, there's no sales pitch or rehearsed lines, just genuine conversation and a willingness to engage without the need for validation. This often leads others to see him as someone worth knowing. They instinctively recognize that he doesn't need their approval, which paradoxically makes them want to earn it. His presence creates a sense of security, as people feel they can be themselves around him without the fear of judgment. This draws others in, making them curious about his insights and experiences. As they get to know him, they realize that his value is not just in what he does, but in who he is. In a culture obsessed with self-promotion, the Sigma male's ability to simply exist without needing to sell himself makes him not only intriguing, but genuinely compelling, leaving a lasting impression on everyone he meets. Number 12. He unknowingly sets trends by breaking them. Most people treat milestones like checkboxes on life's to-do list. Birthdays, the Sigma male has a remarkable knack for breaking trends without even trying. He moves through life with a sense of authenticity that doesn't rely on what's currently popular. Instead of following the crowd, he often chooses what resonates with him, whether it's in fashion, hobbies, or lifestyle choices. This natural inclination to be true to himself allows him to create a unique style that others can't help but notice. As he goes about his day, people start to pick up on his vibe and inadvertently imitate him, trying to capture a piece of that originality. What's fascinating is that he's usually completely unaware of the impact he has. To him, it's just about being genuine and comfortable in his own skin. Yet as he strays from the mainstream, he inadvertently sets new standards for those around him. This creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to explore their own paths and embrace their individuality. They might start wearing similar clothes, adopting his hobbies, or even changing their attitudes because they admire the confidence he exudes without effort. The Sigma male's influence is a testament to the power of authenticity. When he chooses to break away from the norm, he not only liberates himself, but also empowers others to do the same. In a world obsessed with trends and conformity, his quiet rebellion becomes a beacon of inspiration, making him someone others aspire to emulate, even if he doesn't realize it. Promotions, all followed by big parties, gifts, and endless social media posts. There's an unspoken rule that you're supposed to make a big deal out of these things, whether it's for yourself or someone else. But Sigma males, they look at all this fanfare and think, what's the point? In a world where everyone seems eager to prove their worth, the Sigma male's refusal to participate in that game becomes his most compelling trait. Whether through his understated body language or his subtle influence on others, the Sigma male attracts attention by simply being himself. He may not fully realize the effect he has, but those who encounter him can't help but be captivated by his depth and mystery. His attractiveness isn't loud or obvious, but it lingers, leaving a lasting impression that is hard to ignore.